Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a story that, it starts with this adorable gift-wrapped puppy, but it quickly turns into a really powerful lesson about what happens when we get it wrong, when we mistake a living, breathing being for just a toy. So this phrase right here, I am not a toy, it's short, but man, it's powerful. It's really the heart of this whole story. It's this plea that kind of sets the stage for everything we're about to talk about: empathy, respect, and, what it really means to connect with another living thing. All right, so our story kicks off with a gift. Sounds nice, right? But here's the catch. This gift comes with a huge misunderstanding, a fundamental mistake in how it's perceived. And that one little mistake, well, it changes everything that comes after. Okay, so let's meet Tiko. He shows up in a pretty box, all wrapped up with colorful ribbons. You can just picture it. He's this bundle of life, floppy ears, tail just waiting to wag. But the key thing to remember is he's not just a cute puppy. He's a living, feeling being, just bursting with energy and this deep, natural desire to connect. And boom, here it is, the big problem. These words from his new owner, Beia's aunt. Here's your new toy, sweetie. Right there, Tiko is framed not as a friend, not as a family member, but as an object, a toy. And it's a mistake we see all the time, right? We project what we want onto an animal, and we completely forget there's a conscious being in there. This one sentence, it's what gets the whole story rolling. So that one mistake brings us to this really important question. What actually happens? What are the real-world consequences when we look at a living creature and just don't see the life in it? When we don't see its feelings? Let's dig into that. Okay, so now we're going to see how that one little misunderstanding started to create this huge emotional gap between Bataya and Tiko. And we're going to see the very real, very deep sadness that came from it. This right here just perfectly lays out the disconnect. I mean, look at it. On one side, you've got what Beia did, dressing him up, pushing him around in a doll stroller. She's treating him like a doll, a prop. But on the other side, you've got what Tiko actually needed as a puppy. He just wanted to run, to sniff things, to be petted. He didn't want to be an accessory in her game. And, as you can probably guess, Beia got bored. The novelty of the toy wore off. But for Tiko, well, the consequences were absolutely heartbreaking. He ended up alone on a cold porch, hungry and just so lonely. That bright, happy spirit he had, it just started to fade. And in its place was this quiet, desperate look, a plea for someone, anyone, to actually see him. And that desperate plea, it wasn't that no one heard it, it's that they didn't understand it. This quote really gets at that idea, that there was this silent communication happening the whole time. Tiko wasn't just sad, he was saying something, just not with words. His eyes were telling a whole story, holding a truth, just waiting for someone with an awakened soul to finally get it. So, right when things are looking their worst for Tiko, someone steps in, and this is the turning point. It's this moment of simple, quiet wisdom that ends up being the key to unlocking this whole mess. And it all kicks off with something so simple, just paying attention. Bia's grandmother shows up, and right away, she's different. She doesn't just see a cute puppy. No, she sees the profound sadness in his eyes. She can read those unspoken words. So the grandmother, she gently explains the big thing that Beia was missing. Tiko isn't a thing, he's a being. He has this whole rich inner world. He feels everything we feel. He gets cold, he gets scared, he gets hungry, and maybe most important of all, he has this huge capacity to feel and give love. And then she explains this idea of an awakened soul. And it's not some kind of magic power. It's really just about paying attention. It's about being able to see the incredible love that animals are offering us and taking the time to understand the rich, unspoken language they use to show it. So, okay, Beia gets this new perspective. But what happens next? How did things actually change? Let's take a look at how she took that wisdom and completely transformed how she acted and, well, her entire relationship with Tiko. And, from that day on, everything was different. Beia completely changed her approach. She stopped trying to make him a character in her games and just started watching him, seeing who he really was. She started meeting his needs, taking him for real walks, giving him cuddles when he wanted them. She really started to learn his language. And what did that language even look like? Well, it wasn't about words. It was in the quiet moments between them. It was in the way he looked at her. that unrestrained happiness in his wagging tail. Even a little soft grumble told a story. She was basically discovering this whole vibrant world of communication that, honestly, had been right there in front of her the whole time. And the result? It was immediate. You just couldn't deny it. As soon as Beia started actually listening, Tiko started to heal. That deep, deep sadness in his eyes, it was gone, replaced with just pure joy. He started to smile again. You could literally see their new, real connection taking shape. So this story about Beia and Tiko, it's more than just one little girl and her dog, right? It's got this universal lesson inside it, a takeaway that really applies to all of our interactions with animals. And this became Beia's new message to the world. It's such a simple but deep summary of everything she learned. Animals, they're not things to be played with. They're actually our teachers. And you know what their main subject is? Love. And this is really why it all matters so much. It's just a powerful reminder that some of the biggest, most important lessons we learn in life, lessons about patience, about loyalty, about unconditional love, a lot of the time they come to us without a single word being spoken. So this brings us to the big takeaway from all of this. After watching Tiko's journey from being seen as a toy to becoming a teacher, what's the one thought we should really hold on to? And here it is, this final quote. It really challenges us to go beyond just being kind to animals. It's an invitation, really. An invitation to become what it calls evolving souls. People who learn to listen not just with their ears, but with their hearts. To hear those silent, loving truths that animals are sharing with us every single day.